evening. Welcome to the State of Business on our television with me, Tirantha Gunardhana. Let's take a look at today's top stories first. Construction of Sri Lanka's first port access elevated expressway begins today. Speaker Karu Jayasuriya commends female workforce in Sri Lanka. Now let's take a look at news in detail. The construction of the port access elevated expressway from the Ingurukade Junction to Galle Face kicked off today under the patronage of Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe.
The 3-year project funded by the Asian Development Bank is scheduled to be completed by September 2022 and is of a total cost of 28 billion rupees. The port access elevated highway is 5.3 kilometers in length and will connect with New Kalani Bridge at Ingurukade Junction and will reach the new port city on columns. The main purpose of the mega development project is to ease the traffic congestion in Baseline Road and suburban Colombo, which currently face immense traffic due to the entry of excess vehicles to Colombo via the expressway at Kalani that will go towards Fort. Moreover, by this construction, the travel duration from Galle Face to Paliagoda will be limited to just 4 minutes.
The port access elevated highway is funded by Asian Development Bank. The project starts from Ingurukade Junction and continues through the port premises and it comes up to Galle Face closer to the lighthouse. And the elevated highway or the highway will continue through a tunnel to connect the Marine Drive in another port city projects. So our project will limited from Ingurukade Junction to closer to the lighthouse. The entire project construction will be an elevated highway on columns and the total costs of the contract will be 28 billion rupees entirely funded by ADB, and the contract has been already awarded to Chinese firm. It's called China Civil Engineering and Construction Company, and they are intend to start the work by end of this month before 26th September, and the total construction period will be 3 years and we hope to complete the project by 2022 September.
The Board of Investment of Sri Lanka signed an agreement with Japanese company Sugano Packing Materials Company to establish a plant that will manufacture flexible packaging that will be highly beneficial for local sectors such as the tea industry.
Thus, the packaging produced in China would be mainly flat-bottom bags, and to manufacture the bags, a large pouching machine will be brought to Sri Lanka. The agreement was signed by Chairman of the Board of Investment of Sri Lanka, Mangala Yapa, and Managing Director of Sugano Colombo Private Limited, Yusaku Sugano, and Director of the company, Dinesh Dahanayaka. Winning the public and government trust, the Sugano company was awarded with the Eco Action certification and a certification by the Flexible Packaging Hygiene Association respectively in the years of 2005, 2008 and 2012.
The Colombo Stock Exchange and the Securities Exchange Commission of Sri Lanka continues to engage regional entrepreneurs through a series of events presenting CSE's small and medium-sized enterprises listing platform, the Empower Board. Thus, the latest events were organized in Jaffna and Mathura and were followed by forums organized in Anuradhapura, Negombo, Kurunegala and Kandy.
Entrepreneurs, chamber representatives, bankers, accounting and audit professionals and other related stakeholders based in the regions attended for a discussion on why entrepreneurs should actively consider listing on the Empower Board. Meanwhile, the Empower Board offers an equity-based solution to SMEs and entrepreneurs that are seeking versatile methods of raising capital to pursue growth, and the requirements and the process involved with the listing on the Empower Board have been tailored to capture the context of SMEs and growing companies and largely vary from the other listing platforms at CSE. The event in Jaffna marked the first occasion a stock market listing related event was conducted in the northern province and drew a keen interest among the business community based in the region.
Time for us to slip in for a short commercial break. Do stay tuned for more news after this. Welcome back. Addressing the Top 50 Professional and Career Women Awards 2019 held recently, Country Manager for International Finance Corporation in Sri Lanka and Maldives, Amena Arif, expounds that companies with higher gender diversity and inclusiveness show better performances. The country manager Amina Arif also went on to stress that gender diversity should be inserted as a key priority in business ventures.
It is no secret that barriers to women's empowerment is one of the biggest challenges in achieving sustainable and inclusive growth for countries and private companies alike. But in settings like this, it can sometimes be difficult to sufficiently stress the importance of gender diversity in the workplace and the critical impacts the current disparities have on every level of society. Very Sri Lanka specific research has shown that for listed companies, those with higher gender diversity exhibit better performance across the board on metrics such as return on equity, return on assets, and price earnings ratio. So there is a value proposition that underpins our constant chorus of gender parity. We believe gender parity must be considered holistically as a long overdue social and moral imperative, yes, but as a pressing economic priority. As a development partner, we value the significance of access to quality jobs, access to assets as key catalysts of empowerment for women. As investors, we understand the value of diverse boards and leaderships.
In more developments, Chairman of the Sri Lanka Pojjana Peramuna, Professor G.L. Piris, urges the Elections Commission to soon announce a date of the presidential election, claiming that the Commission will have complete control on government's corruptive political propaganda after its announcement of the presidential candidate. Addressing a media briefing held in Colombo yesterday, the SLPP chairman also noted that the flower bud is the most appropriate symbol for the proposed coalition with the Sri Lanka Freedom Party.
Addressing the media briefing yesterday, Chairman of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna, Professor G.L. Piris highlighted that best suitable symbol for the planned coalition is the flower bud since it's deeply rooted in the society. He also noted that this symbol is more beneficial to promote the policies that both parties have agreed to. On the front of the discussion talks with Sri Lanka Freedom Party, Professor Piris mentioned that both SLFP and SLPP had agreed to 25 policies and that it shows positive signs of collaborating with each other on the forthcoming election. Moreover, the SLPP chairman urged the National Elections Commission to announce the date of the presidential polls soon, claiming that the current government is engaged in malpractices such as distributing land and money targeting the election. Chairman of SLPP reiterated that the Election Commission has the complete authority to control such misconducts if they announce a presidential election date soon.
Meanwhile, addressing an event held in Colombo recently, Speaker Karu Jayasuriya commended the contribution of female professionals in making Sri Lanka a viable commercial hub in the Indian Ocean. The Speaker also emphasized that social and cultural values repressive for females should be eliminated to fast-track the holistic growth of the country.
During my own career, both in the private sector and government sectors and in politics, I have observed that female professionals are very committed and focused on the job at hand. The unique ability to combine and harmonize family lives with their professions no doubt contributes to the well-being of the family and the society, which is essential for the success of our economy and for our social progress. Ladies and gentlemen, at a time when Sri Lanka aspires to be a commercial hub in the Indian Ocean, leveraging our geographical location, the contribution by female professionals will become even more important as we create a web of commercial partnership with all trading nations of the world. While our hub status can provide immense commercial and economic opportunities for Sri Lanka and for the region, such vibrant links must harmonize external cultural influences with local traditions in such a manner that the fusion of social values will not adversely affect the stability of our societies. In my view, female professionals are well endowed to handle such issues with sensitivity and understanding with a view to creating a country and a society in harmony with the rest of the world while nurturing trade and social linkages with people and countries across the globe.
The State Minister of Industry and Commerce, Cooperative Development and Vocational Training and Skills Development, Buddhika Pathirana, attended the World's Food Istanbul 2019 fair, which commenced on the 4th of September 2019 at the TUYAP Fair and Congress Center in Istanbul.
The minister visited Sri Lanka stall organized by the Embassy of Sri Lanka and Sri Lanka Tea Board and met with the representatives of Sri Lankan companies which participated at the fair, namely MNS Stazan Private Limited, MNS Green Horizon Private Limited, MNS Unwarely and Sons Private Limited, MJF Group, along with the Sri Lanka Tea Board. The World Food Fair in Istanbul is regarded as the most effective and efficient meeting point for retail chains, wholesale businesses, food production companies, and this year 500 exhibitors from 45 countries participated in the fair. During the visit to Istanbul, Ambassador Rizvi Hasan also paid a courtesy call to President of the Foreign Economic Relations Board of Turkey, Neil Olpak, along with the Councillor Yoshita Jayasurya and Chairman of the DAIC Turkish Sri Lanka Business Council, Besir Ugur, at the DAIC head office. Ambassador Hasan further met with the representatives of the senior officials of Istanbul Chamber of Commerce, Istanbul Chamber of Industry and Association of Turkish Travel Agency.
Stocks ended in a mixed note today. More on that after this short commercial break. Welcome back. Trading at the Colombo Stock Exchange ended on a mixed note today. The All-Share Price Index gained 5.95 points to close at 5,822.47 points, and the S&P SL 20 dropped 16.10 points to close at 2,815.30. Turnover was 716 million rupees and over 59 million shares were traded. Up next are today's Forex rates. And with that, we come to the end of today's bulletin. Tune in tomorrow at the same time for more of the very latest on State of Business. Until then, take care. Good night.